Bell Elementary is a small school of around 100 students located in rural Adair County. And like most small schools, they have classes from pre-K up to the 8th grade. But Bell also has a robotics team, a part of the STEM program of study. And they have come a long, long way in the 5 years since its beginning.
Someone's kind of a little bit shy and everything, but you've got to get in front of everybody and drive those robots and drive the drones, and you have to explain. The judges will ask you about them. You have to build them. The students build them themselves. Miss Ford teaches them really well. They build them, drive them. They have to fix them on the fly. And then if a judge asks them a question, they got to talk to strangers and stuff. And it's a big deal because a lot of our students, stay close to the community, but now they've been all over Oklahoma and Kentucky. And so I'm very proud of them. I mean, they do an excellent job. They show up because they do it on their own time. We practice after school, and so they show up and do that. And they work together as a team, and so I'm just really proud of them.
I know when you go to school here, you don't think of there being other things outside of Bell. You don't see a lot of that. You don't get introduced to it because you don't have those chances to go on a vacation or a trip. You don't have that opportunity. So for these kids to get to go and spend the night in a motel room in another state or city, and then to go out of state into all these other little states that you go through.
The kids design and build their own robots and have attended 6 competitions this school year alone. Kim and Trent Ford have managed the program for the past 3 years and have been to the State and World Robotics competition each of those years. Made up of students from 3rd to 8th grade, there are 3 two-person teams. Andrew Flynn and Rachel Drywater are Team 11164A, and Eric and Tristan Teehee are Team 11164B. Trenton Nakedhead and little brother Aaron Teehee make up Team 11164C.
I like driving the bots and going places that I haven't been before. We team up with different schools, and sometimes our teammates. It was fun, and it was scary because you had to compete against these big giant robots that different countries have come and build. I like teaming up with them.
At first I was a little nervous, and then once I knew that I was good at this, I started feeling a little bit better. My papa, he's really encouraged me to do this. When I'm out there competing, and I hear all those people cheering, it just makes me want to do better. I'm going to do it next year too if they keep continuing.
Last year, every time my brother would come back from robotic competitions, he would say they're all fun, and I said, I want to try robotics next year. He said, okay, I'll have Ms. Ford make you my partner. I feel when I get out there on a competition, I feel pretty confident, and every time we go to the robotics competitions, I talk to myself and I say that, try your best.
The Fords have worked with these students after school and on weekends and have traveled all across the state with them to 6 matches just this school year alone. The school held fundraisers and also gets a lot of support from the community and from the Cherokee Nation, which gave them money this year for equipment, parts, and entrance fees.
When Kim and Trent Ford took it over, they really devoted a lot of time and effort to it, and really reached out to the kids and worked diligently with them, and has made it a very successful program. I mean, they made their 3rd appearance this year at Wells. To take a K-8 school that's in a rural location such as Bell, that doesn't even have a convenience store in its community, that they have to go into town for everything, and to see those kids exceed at a level and be able to compete at a level on the world stage on a continuous basis is quite impressive for any school, along a school that's a K-8.
I think so too. Got you guys.
Bell hosted their first competition this year, and 25 teams from around the state participated.
I love these kids. These kids are very smart, intelligent. They're hard workers. They have a drive in them that you don't see everywhere.
This year's state competition was in Shawnee, and all 3 teams made it. They got a chance to go up a day early to have a bit of fun before competing. Swimming in an indoor pool was a big deal and lots of fun for these kids, some of whom have hardly ever left their community. They even got to try out a new restaurant with just a little encouragement.
These kids get a lot of confidence. They get confidence, they get the opportunity to say, there is more. I want more. So far, all the kids that I've talked to that have been in our program has wanted to go on to college. They're wanting that. They're seeing that there is more out there. And I think it's because they've got to go and see. Not all of them had that drive before. And now I've seen a big turnaround. And yeah, I want to go to college. I want to do that. I think I could do that.
2 of the 3 teams qualified for Worlds competition, but Bell Robotics travel as one group. So all 3 teams went to Louisville, Kentucky for the World Robotics competition. Only a few of the students had been out of the state before. It was a long 14-hour drive, but the students got the chance to stop along the way to see things they normally wouldn't get a chance to experience, such as a Bass Pro Shop in Tennessee, which featured a very tall balcony at the top, and of course, arcade games and larger-than-life fish. The Kentucky state line was a rest stop and a photo op. Finally, after the long drive and check-in, the pool was the first stop. And then, of course, there was pizza.
Baseball bats began in the forests of Upper Pennsylvania and Lower New York State.
On Saturday, before competition began, the Louisville Slugger Museum was a priority for the students. The Renaissance Fun Park was also a hit, and the kids had a chance to play a little and have some fun. Over 30,000 people making up the 1,648 teams from 30 nations competed against one another.
Cherokee Nation!
And the Bell Bulldogs carried the flag, leading 9 teams from the Cherokee Nation in the Parade of Nations opening ceremony. The competition was held for college, high school, middle school, and elementary grades. It is a week-long celebration of education, diversity, and, of course, robotics.
11164A, right here next to me, the Bulldogs from Stillwell, Oklahoma.
The 2 teams from Bell competed for 2 days against teams from all over the world. The kids would practice with their alliances before the actual match, and sometimes, of course, there were communications barriers. Eric Teehee and Rachel Drywater have been on the team 2 years and know the pressures of the Worlds, but welcome the chance to compete with kids from all around the world.
It felt good and also at the same time, nervous. I was nervous when I came and competed, and then I was also excited at the same time.
I was more nervous this year than last year. It was all team too. The best part was scoring 306 with some other team.
It was Andrew Flynn's first year to compete, and he had a blast.
It was fun, competing and going out and having fun. My favorite part is going to be going to Kentucky Kingdom.
The big event after the robotics competition was attending the after party at Kentucky Kingdom. The gang enjoyed food and rides and had a chance to just play around, chill out, and enjoy the moment.
We try to do something different with them at each opportunity to give them that experience to say, hey, there is more outside of Bell. If you work hard, you try real hard, you can get out there and do all these other things.
There's over 1,000 teams in Kentucky, and they were in the top 50. So very proud of the robotics teams. Very good. Thank you for that.
Each team member received awards at the end of the school year for their hard work and determination throughout the year. Most educators agree that elementary and middle school is the most formative time in a young student's life, and the best way to instill a lifelong interest in the areas of science, technology, engineering, and math, that's STEM, is to provide a fun, engaging, and hands-on opportunity to explore and experience it for themselves.